Oh, what's up? What's up, y'all? Hey, this video is in response. It's a response video to cousin T.Taw's video about the USB, the ugly, sexy player. I'm glad he did that because in my book, Nice Guys and Players, I got a section in there where I talk about the face. And I actually said the face is the least important for turning on a woman. People thought I was crazy, but I explained why I said that. You can't control your face, so you can't worry about it. But if you weren't blessed with a handsome face, or conventionally, I say consensusly handsome face, one of those faces only a mom could love, barely, because the courts require her to, you can still do other things. Now, in Cousin T.Taw's video, he talked about the ugly, sexy players in his world, the male entertainment world. And he talked about how, these guys, they had their bodies on point, their presentation, style, and especially their charisma on point. And I got the link in the description box. And, that's a very real thing. That's a very real thing. I'm looking around. I gotta check out these people. Wait, who's that? Yeah, brother need glasses sometimes just to see some folks. But let me get out of here. In the in the outside world, in the vanilla world, there are plenty of examples of that if you want to look. There's plenty of examples. Like I remember this one dude, and these are dudes the women called ugly. I can think of 4 examples just off the top of my head, really more. I could probably do a whole video just of examples that I've known personally. Because remember, when I talk about stuff, I don't talk about anything unless I've seen it with my own eyes. Like, I know this one dude, he dated 2 certified 10s. And it might have been 3 certified 10s, but he was cheating on one of the certified 10s, so I ain't get a good look at the girl's face. She had a fat ass, though. She had that butt dunk at least. That's all I could tell. He saw me, he was like trying to run and stuff, play it off. I say, dude, I wouldn't have violated the brother code. But that dude, like at least 2 certified 10s. And when I say certified, like, you know how they got like women in magazines and shit? Certified. I believe it at that. Without giving away too much. And I know this other one, and that dude was just thorough though. That dude was just thorough. Nah, he was facially challenged, but that dude, he kept himself in shape, athletic, and he was just thorough. He didn't take no shit off anybody. And then this other dude, too, like I said, women called him ugly, but all the fine, that dude ran through some fine women. And actually 2 of them broke it down. They said one dude was always dressed. And this the type of cat, just casually he'll have a blazer on. And I played basketball with him. He played a pickup game, and he's styling. Like the shirt, shoes, everything a match. He was stylish with sneakers before it was popular. And then I knew this woman who she said she did not like handsome dudes. She even called her own man ugly, but she popped out 8 babies for that dude. It was like a little staircase and shit. And I'm gonna tell you how fine this woman was. I remember one time she said to me, Ron, why you always want a hug? She was fine as shit. She put one brother in a trance. He was following, walking behind her. He went into a trance. Another brother saw her. She was so fine, he made up a poem on the spot. Yeah, the baby of her 8 daddies and holding, because I ain't seen her in a while, so she might have about 12, because as fine as she was, a motherfucker's pullout game would have been very weak. And she snapped back quick. She she didn't want that handsome dude. That's one example. And then I told this one before, back when like people in DC remember Zanzibar, not when it was on the waterfront, but over by the White House in DC. And this dude, I'll call him Vasquez. This dude about 6'4", and you can't say you could say the height. And see, that's another thing. It's funny people talk about height, but then forget about it when they talk about face. You got cats that say it's just the face or something, but This cat actually had like serious dermatology. He needed a dermatologist. That's my word to trip over today, right? Because he had like pockmarked face. Like, I ain't talking like no little tiny things. I mean like pockmarked. Like, I hope the dude like managed to grow a beard or something to hide it. But women were going crazy. And at this club, you had some Ethiopian women throwing it at him. And if anybody's familiar with Ethiopian women, they don't go outside their culture too much. You got to be thorough, fine, whatever for them to go outside of it. You got to be thorough, fine. So that's another example. But there's plenty of examples. Understanding, Scorpio, cousin T.Taw. I don't know. I think he threw that name out there anyway. But cousin T.Taw broke it down. Anyway, if you're not facially challenged, you get the other shit that you have together. I said so in my book. That's all you do. Because you can't help your face. But you can help your grooming. Shoot, you can invest in dental work. Shoot, you get a good dental plan or a discount dental plan. You can get a lot of stuff done for I ain't gonna say relatively cheap, but it's a good investment. Shoot, you can take care of your grooming. I mean, there's some things you can't take care of without plastic surgery, but you don't really need to. Because I'm going to tell you what, any real player knows women do not want a guy who look better than them. Any real player know that. All you have to do is be presentable. Because women always want to be like the center of attention. What? Aisha Curry, she just was on some program and she was talking about she wasn't getting the attention. So a woman don't want to be walking next to a guy with it. So if a dude, even if he ugly, if he get his other shit going on, and get his body right, his clothes style right, learn how to work some scents, get some good colognes, grooming, have some charisma. I mean, people, that mouthpiece, it's amazing. A lot of people don't talk about a mouthpiece, but shoot, there's some, y'all just don't know. And that's some old school game in the black community, the mouthpiece. Because even if you look good, if you can't talk, because what a woman will say if you look good but can't talk, they'll say he was all right till he opened his mouth. You still got to have that mouthpiece, so those dudes got serious mouthpieces. Shoot, they got to get around it because the woman's still looking at the face and probably like, but you know, she can see that body. And on the real, I'm just going to keep it raw. That motherfucker got a nice print. Shit, they'll forget about a lot of shit. I've heard some women straight up say they'll take an ugly motherfucker with a big dick. Seriously, if they want to get turned out, shit. Well, that motherfucker willing to eat that poo. Shoot, when it comes to sex, women very forgiving of some shit. You give her 15 orgasms, shoot, she'll forgive a lot of shit. That's why I talk a lot about the sex game. That's a great equalizer. And even with the face, women are so about a face. Sometimes they'll look at a face good and be like, eh. In fact, I'm gonna put a link. I'm going to put some relevant links. One of the links is about this woman talking about how women see different faces, even if they look good. It's not always sexy to them. And she even mentioned, like, the ugly, sexy player. I got a couple links. One from a playlist from Bossip. I should be able to find that again. About what they call ugly fine. Like, sisters will call it ugly fine. Because understand something with some women, y'all. They look at everything. See, a lot of dudes who think it's just the face, that's because they just looking at a woman's face. Women look at everything. That's why I say a good pair of shoes can get your dick sucked. Seriously, they look at everything. They take it all, they put it all together and see, okay, what they got. They'll look at the face and be like, oh shit, hell no. But then they'll say, whoa, he got big chest and arms. Oh shit, oh man. Shoot, the motherfucker can dress. Then if he got a mouthpiece, he spit that fire, get it engaged, and she smelling that cologne. Shoot, all of a sudden she find a beauty in the face. And plus, here's the thing too: if you a truly masculine motherfucker, shit, they forgiving of a lot of stuff. If you just masculine, just got some raw masculinity, you have some masculine mannerisms. Trust me. And anybody who questions that, I'll say two things. You can even come in my comments and try to question it, but tell me your personal experience. Tell me how many parties, tell me how many players you've known. Don't tell me some shit that you've seen some dubious study. Yeah, you get these studies out here, these studies contradict each other. That's why I don't like really quote them too much, because I can find any study to quote anything I say, but then I can find something that counters it. Because usually when people do a study, they already have an outcome. They already have an outcome in mind, and that's what they look for. Because I remember I did a study for this grad student one time. She kept using leading questions. I'm like, well, shit, dang. I mean, she still had to pay me, but I don't think I gave her the answer she was looking for. But that's because she lead with the question. I said, well, no, that's not what I think. So it's like, you gotta take them with a grain of salt. But yeah, that's a real thing. And like I said, anybody who's gone out there in the game, and in fact, to be honest with you, growing up, I honestly didn't think a facial thing was a thing until I noticed other people talking about it. I was in my 30s, because growing up, it was always about the mouthpiece. Mouthpiece and your fashion. It was always about those two things. Because you can't control the face. Even if you conspicuously handsome, like if you go in a room of 100 women, you conspicuously handsome to 90 of them. 10 of them going to be like, ugh. No, five of them will be like, he alright. And then 5 more be like, the motherfucker ugly. So it's no objective thing. People be trying to say it, but it's a matter of taste, what people like. And usually what happens is, if you like dudes who rely too much on just their face, they're usually very limited. And look, and I know I've been talking about this a lot, but see, the reason is I want guys to get out of their limitations. You can't be tripping. Whatever you got to work with whatever you got, and you got to try to present your best self. And you can't be saying there's some shit you ain't gonna control. You ain't gonna control it. And even if you get plastic surgery, you got some cats in there that get plastic surgery. I used to work with a cat, and I've mentioned this before. I used to work with this dude. Like, most people would consider Clint Eastwood to be a good-looking man. Even some dudes would consider him to be a good-looking man. I worked with this dude who looked like Clint Eastwood with glasses. That's the only difference. But nobody was trying to give that dude something. That dude is probably incel. That dude looked like this is in poor taste to say it, but that dude looked like type of shoot up some stuff. He was a good guy, but he was just, looking back, I think he was on the spectrum. But women weren't feeling him. The women in the office were not feeling this dude. They kind of laughed at him behind his back. But if you looked at his face, and I even looked at him one time, I said, damn, dude, you look like Clint Eastwood. And he had the face. Obviously, he had the face. You take off the glasses, you look like you're talking to Clint Eastwood. But he didn't have any style, body. He ain't had no conversation. So that's why I stay on it. It's like, look, no limitations. Shit, I think of so many dudes. I do this one dude. This dude was overweight. And by his own admission, he looked like Yoda. He looked like a big black Yoda. Like, he looked like big value Yoda and shit. That motherfucker spit at everybody. I don't know how many kids that dude had, too. He reproduced himself. He was fruitful and multiplied. Shit. That dude was fruitful and multiplied. And those are some kids he probably admit to. That motherfucker didn't give a fuck. And he'll roast a woman in a second. He'll talk to him. He ain't care. Hanging out with that motherfucker in high school and shit. Motherfucker be in the car and shit. Be yelling out the window to a woman. Be like, hey, beautiful. Psych. That's my bad, though. One of the best people you ever want to know. But seriously, man. Really, seriously. And part of the thing with the ugly, sexy play, they just don't give a fuck. They know what it is. And they say, fuck it. I ain't gonna hold back. I'm trying to get that ass. You just develop your other shit. And I'm going to tell y'all a little secret. Because Scorpio and Cousin T.Taw, sorry, man, I call you something else. But Cousin T.Taw in his video, right, he was like, the alpha players. The alpha showpiece players, the ASPs, they be on a swivel if one of those USPs, ugly sexy players, come on. Because here's what it is. A lot of times, if a dude already have the the facial features and the body and all of that, and women throwing it at them, you get lazy as shit. Seriously. I've coached dudes like that. Like, they all right until they get a woman who ain't chasing them. And then they come to me like, Rom, I get all these women except the one I want. And I've had some sharp dudes walk up and they say, you look at them, they got charisma, everything, but there's always that woman that they want who don't want them. Because they never had to develop the ability to actually seduce a woman. Whereas the ugly sexy player, shit, he had to figure out shit. He had to study with it. He was like, shit, I'm trying to pass my jeans on. I got to figure out something. That's why those dudes can spit like a champ. Look at all those old R&B stars in the black community and stuff. I mean, really, I actually studied them for some game. Those blues singers, all those singers, they look average. They some average looking motherfuckers, but they get up there, they sing or some shit. And part of that was the game. That's some deeper shit. In fact, I'm a cousin T.Taw. Hit him with that shit, bro. hit him with that shit. I'm gonna let you do it. I'm gonna let you hit him with the shit. I'll follow up with that. But that was their game, though. They had to figure out how to spit. They had to figure out their mouthpiece. You know, because everybody, you know, alpha showpieces. What percent you talking? Small percent of the population. Man, if I outside the gym and sometimes even in the gym, I can go months without seeing an alpha showpiece. Seriously, I have to like go out my way to find one. So everybody ain't on that. So everybody else had to develop some type of game. And that's all it is. It's like, okay, what you using to get a woman? And that's it. And like I said, the only reason I'm staying on this is too many dudes limit themselves when they don't have to. And in fact, that's the biggest issue I find when I do coaching and talk to people. They be having women. I talk to them a while. They say, damn, yeah, this woman chasing, this woman doing. And I explain to them, yeah, she choosing. Because you just got to figure out what you got and develop it. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.